information, data protection, assurance, and now privacy, and now a leader in AI as it transforms our digital existence. So ISACA is known globally, not just for certifications, but it's also shaping how organizations build trust in technology through frameworks, research, and professional standards that are used by governments, regulators, and enterprises. So ISACA membership is just not about membership and paying dues and just belonging to a professional body. It's about joining a professional ecosystem. Technology is evolving faster than traditional education systems can keep up. So membership will ensure that you stay relevant, informed, connected, and it gives you a voice in a global professional community and access to knowledge that could otherwise be very difficult and expensive to obtain individually. Yeah. So as a member, you gain access to continuous professional education through webinars, conferences, research work that take thousands of dollars to develop. You gain access to frameworks, to templates that otherwise you wouldn't have gotten or you paid a premium to get. Again, when you are a member of ISACA and you want to pursue your professional growth through various, because you have entry-level certifications up to leadership-level certifications. So when you get as a member, you get premium discounts on certifications such as CISA, CISM, CIRIS, CDIPSI, AI certifications, and all other certifications that we do, COBIT and all that. Yeah. So it provides you access to these frameworks, and it will guide you as you pursue your professional growth. We provide forums for networking. That one, of course, it cannot be re-emphasized, that you will otherwise not get in a normal professional career line as an individual. Other than other professional bodies, why ISACA is very unique. ISACA is a global body. We belong to a global community of chapters. So in technology, you cannot say you are inward looking. You have to be global looking. And our certifications are globally certified, globally recognized, globally certified. We've been standardized with institutions like ANSI, Kamamai. So it means as a ISACA profession, you can compete effectively in a global environment. And the world has become a village. Remote jobs are happening. You can work anywhere. The moment you get an ISACA certification, you validate your expertise and skills to work anywhere across the globe. And that's the unique benefit we give you exactly as a local body. So members, not to belabor you, because I know you'll be taken through this series of this. So this is a call for you to get involved beyond just membership. We encourage you to not just join, but to get involved, volunteer in communities, contribute to events, speak in forums, and take leadership roles within the chapter. We are calling members. Soon we'll be going to elections. We'll be calling people to step up for volunteer position, for leadership positions. And that's how ISACA is structured. It's a community of professionals to make you belong, and not just belong, to make you be a relevant profession. So my call today is simple. Join ISACA, engage with the Kenya chapter, invest in your professional future. Your growth strengthens the profession, and a strong profession strengthens Kenya's digital economy and trust in technology. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Caroline, for this, and welcome for this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give our president some reactions right there. And just to mention, so that we don't miss your questions, you must be able to get your Q&A, the Q&A button there. Just do that. Let's continue to applaud. And thank you so much for giving us all that blessings for us to get started onto these. As we're going on, we're going to skip this video, then move on to the next slide. Yeah, so we are here. We're going to be hosting this particular session. Myself, my name is Kevin Tui, as you can see right there in the middle of amazing, lovely ladies in Caroline Mushai, who is our certifications director, and Faith Wawira, who we serve also together within the membership committee. And at this juncture, I think I'll give Caroline to take it away from here.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much, our president, Boniface Siligwa. the membership director, Irene Kitsutsi, Faith Wawera, and Lois representing the secretariat. So I'll not get into much detail. I think our president has really given a good introduction to who ISACA is as a chapter. Again, to introduce myself, I'm Caroline Moshai. I am the current certifications director at the chapter. So just to mention quickly who we are, of course, we are a professional body, as had earlier been mentioned. It's a non-for-profit. We are currently the 158th chapter globally. And we boast of about 1,960 members, slightly following the South African chapter in Africa. So we are we are the second in Africa, and we have 180 student members. I'm hoping those who have joined us today are also part of the student membership. Of course, our vision is to be a leader and building digital trust. As the president has said, it's not possible right now with all this digital transformation. It's not possible to show assurance, to show security, to show the level of digital trust that we have as institutions and as professionals, what kind of trust we're also able to offer to our institutions and to our customers and any other stakeholders. We can go to the next slide. ISACA's purpose ideally is to help business technology professionals and their enterprises around the world realize the positive potential of technology. We cannot survive without technology at this point. And I'd earlier mentioned, it's very important that as professionals, we are able to give our stakeholders the assurance that the technology that has been implemented is able to provide the kind of trust that they're looking for. It's able to give, from an audit perspective, we're able to have the relevant information that we are requiring. The reports are accurate. There's no material risk that is identified. If it's controls, that the controls are relevant and they are working effectively. And that is ideally the purpose of ISACA's as a chapter. Let's see to the next slide. This is our leadership. Of course, led by our able president, that's Boniface Asiligwa. We have George Kisaka as the vice president, Dr. Fred Ouma as the chapter secretary, Raphael Onyango as the treasurer, myself, I've introduced myself. We have Irene, who is together with us in the panel. She's our membership director. We have Faith Katua as the advocacy director, Duke Munari as the special programs director, Masio Molo, she's the immediate past president. We have Winnie Gevenji, she leads tech liaison, and Linda Makungu. I'm sure most of you have interacted with her in one way or the other. She's our BDM and our acting CEO. Next slide. So, of course, one of the things that we do is ensure that our membership grows. So that is a very key item as part of our vision, to ensure that the membership grows, the networking capabilities or opportunities for our professional members, our student members continues to grow, is to ensure that we help our members maintain their certification. So you may have a certification or 2, 3, or 4, or like our president here, you probably have a whole list, the entire suite of certification. So how can we as a chapter support you in ensuring that you maintain these certifications? We also have customized trainings. This is something that we will be talking about later in the slides, just to ensure, again, that you remain relevant, your certifications remain relevant, and that you're able to also stand out from the rest. Conferences, we have 2 flagship conferences that we'll talk about. And then we also provide resources. When you go to my ISACA page or isaca.org, you'll be able to identify so many resources, from books to webinars from across the globe, to training materials, whatever it is that you require. If you're planning to undertake your certification this year or whatever period, you're able to get all this material. You're able to engage with so many other professionals who have undertaken this, and not just in Kenya, but in Africa and across the globe. So these many resources you'll be able to get from our page. And the benefit of you becoming a member is that you get some of these resources for free or at a very subsidized cost. Next slide. So we have three groups of membership. We have the professional membership. This is probably you and I. If you're in the profession, if you're already working, it's possible that you're a professional member. Then we have the recent graduates as membership. So this, of course, is to help expand your network and career opportunities. Again, it's beneficial, very beneficial for you if you're a recent graduate, because you get to meet with various leaders in the industry that can be able to support you as you navigate your career. Then we have student membership. This is where you're able to hone your leadership skills, your technology skills, whatever it is that you have from an early stage. The beauty about this is whatever university you are in, we are working together with some of these universities to be able to provide that avenue for you. So if you are interested, you're here. If you know someone who is interested, is a student and is taking this course from Strathmore, KCA, wherever they may be, just feel free to let them know that they can join in ISACA as an ISACA student member. Next slide. So this is where the rubber meets the road. Of course, there's some money that you need to part with. Good things don't come that easy sometimes, but in this regard, to be able to join in as a professional member, remember I mentioned as a professional member, you're likely already working. Your joining fee will be $185. And then once you renew, that will be $165. So right now we are hoping that as many of you have already renewed. If not, please make sure that you do so before the deadline. So if you're a new member and you want to join as a professional, that's $185. Then we have recent graduates. The joining fee is $83 and the renewal is $43. And then for students, it's $23. The renewal fee remains the same. Going to the next slide. Apologies, I'm rushing because in the end of time, and there's a lot that we need to cover, but feel free to continue sharing your questions on the chat box. We'll be able to respond to them as we go along. So there are 7 steps to joining ISACA Kenya chapter. The first one, of course, is to visit the website isaca.org. Please feel free to share this information with your colleagues or your family member, anyone who is interested. It's very simple. Step 1, go to isaca.org on your web browser, whichever web browser you use. Once you're there, just create an account. Follow the instructions as defined within that page. Number 3, you choose your membership type. Remember, we mentioned there are 3 membership types. You're either a professional member, you're a recent grad member, or you're a student member. So select the relevant one that applies to you currently. And then select the chapter. At this point, you select ISACA Kenya chapter because you're registering as a Kenya chapter member. And then during the registration process, I'm looking at process step 5. During the registration process, choose ISACA Kenya as your local chapter. I think I'd mentioned that. Then complete the application form, fill in your personal and professional details as required. This is where you'll be required to put in, of course, where you work if you're a professional member, if it's your student member, where you'll go to school, what's your home address. This is relevant, especially when they need to send anything to you. They'll also require your email address. They will require, there's quite a number of details that will be required of you to select, to input in that registration process. Once you're done, make payment. So there are various processes of making payment. There are various methods. You can do online payment. You can pay the membership online through the available options. You can either do with credit card, debit card, whatever is available. You can also do pay later. There's a pay later option. Where you will receive an invoice with details to pay offline. And then you'll notice that fees vary depending on the membership type selected. And maybe this is a question for the Secretariat team, because I know there are those who also still pay to the NCBA account here in Kenya. Just confirm whether that will still apply. Maybe that's to you, Lois. Or Irene, anyone who's available to respond.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, members can pay through our NCBA account, our dollar account, and we'll be sharing the dollar account. but for anyone to pay, you have to first share your invoice, because it makes it easier for us when we are advising ISACA International. We also have a dollar account with KCB. So I think we'll be sharing that information on the chat as we continue. Thank you,
Perfect.
Carol.
Perfect, very much. Thank you very much, Lois. Yes, so that's those are the payment options that you have. Remember, the invoice is very important, especially if your employer or your school will be able to cover these costs for you. So it's important that you are able to get the invoice from the website. Next slide. So these are the certifications. We have quite a number that are popular. As you've seen us being introduced, you'll see that majority of us either have a CISA, a CRISC, or CISM, just one of those many certifications. CISA remains the most popular certification globally and also here in Kenya, but there are those that are continuously coming up. So CISA, of course, is for just proving that you're able to conduct an audit, an IT audit effectively. You're able to provide assurance effectively. And we have risk, which is for risk practitioners. Do we have controls? Are the controls working effectively? And are we able to identify the risk? We have CDEPSI. We've talked about data protection and how data protection is impacting how we do or process our activities. And therefore, ISACA found it necessary to come up with a certification specifically targeted to data privacy security engineers. It's a bit technical compared to other the certifications offered out there, but this is a very good certification if you want to prove how good you are when it comes to data privacy. Then we have the CJIT, which is the Certified in the Governance of Enterprise IT, very important, especially on matters relating to how we govern our IT systems from inception, the life cycle, all that, very, very important. We have CISM, which is Information Security Management. It's from a management perspective, just again, managing security information systems that exist within an institution. Then we have Certified in Emerging Technology. This is a suite to become a certified in enterprise technology, you have to have passed various other certificates that are related to emerging technology that we will look at. And then we have a certified practitioner as the other certification. Next slide. So we have two new certifications that we have been trying as much as possible to make a lot of noise in. And that is the ISACA Advanced in AI Audit and ISACA Advanced in AI Security Management. To be an ISACA Advanced in AI Audit, you have to have some prerequisite certifications that you have. You either are CIA, that is from IIA, or you have a CISA. So you cannot be able to do AAIA without those particular prerequisite certifications. Very good to venture into, because knowing where AI is, it's very important that you register for these particular certifications. The next one is the AIAAISM. That's the Advanced in AI Security Management. Very important, again, to have these particular certifications. If you have a CISM, if you have a CISP, CISP now is from a different provider or a different association, you are eligible to sign up for this particular certifications. We also have a certified cybersecurity operations analyst. So we understand when it comes to cybersecurity operations, monitoring environments for any anomalous activities, this is a certification for you. If you're working as a SOC analyst somewhere and you need to prove or you need to level up, this is a certification that you need to take up. So next slide. Yep, next slide. I think we don't need to go through this particular one. We can jump this one. We can go to the next one. Right, I think I had mentioned, just go back to the previous slide. I had mentioned that to become a certified in emerging technology, sorry, the next one. This one. Right, to become certified in emerging technology, there are a couple of certificates that you will need to have passed. And the first one is the one in the certificate in artificial intelligence. Once you pass that one, you can take on the blockchain certificate. Once you pass that one, you can take on the cloud. Once you're done with that, you can take on the IoT. They work, yes, independently, that you can have each certificate independently. But should you want to become a certified in emerging technology, you have to have passed the 4 certificates. Next slide. These are rather additional certifications. We have the certified in cloud auditing knowledge. Again, cloud is a very important emerging tech. Majority of the organizations are moving to the cloud platform. And so it's very important to know, how do I audit a cloud environment? My organization is using a cloud. If I'm working for a consulting firm, a majority of our clients are using cloud. So how do we leverage on this, and how do I remain relevant from a cloud perspective? When you have COBIT and ISACA framework that is widely used for governance, very, very important. If you have interest in just building policies, building procedures for institutions, COBIT would be a very good framework to start. We have the cybersecurity audit, IT risk fundamentals, IT audit fundamentals. So there are quite a number of certificates that you can use to level up. And as you even gear up towards becoming the CISA, the CISMs, the AAISMs, and the like. I think the rest we have talked about. I don't need to dive deep into this. You can go to the next slide. Right, we've talked about one of our key offerings as a chapter is trainings and conferences. I know you have all received a calendar of events for the year ahead. That one will show you what kind of workshops we have, the webinars and forums that we have planned, conferences that we have in place. So we have 2 flagship conferences that will happen this year. One is the annual conference in April, and the next one will be the GRC conference in the month of October. So feel free to check out the calendar of events. It's on your email address. You can also find this on the ISACA website in case you haven't had a chance to look at it from your email, or there's a link to download on this particular chat, and you'll be able to see that calendar of events. It's very important that you are able to align yourself with these particular events, because they will be very important even as we discuss the CPEs and how to record those particular CPEs against your certificates. Next slide. So yes, I had mentioned this earlier. So we have the annual conference, that's April 20th to 24th. Please mark your calendars. And the GRC 360 Africa conference, that's October 26th to 30th. So this one is, if you've not attended a conference before with us, just remember that there are a couple of things that you'll be missing out, and that is on the networking opportunities with like-minded individuals, with thought leaders, with organizations that would likely be your next employer or your next partner if you're in a business. You also miss out, of course, on the opportunity to learn. There's a lot of learning that happens in these particular conferences, and of course, relax and have fun. So it's very important that you make sure that you apply for this or you register for these particular conferences. Next slide. Other key events notable for you to note again on your calendars, very important. We have the International Women's Day 2026. This is part of the She Leads event in March 6th. Please make sure that you mark your calendars for this. We also have the annual gala dinner. This year, this particular event will be celebrating organizations and individuals who have stood out in various professions or in various fields of expertise. Then we will have, of course, our annual general meeting. That's the May 29th. Once you join in, you'll be able to air, of course, any concerns you have, and we'll be able to also give you a highlight of what we've been able to do in the past 6 months. Then we have the GLS, that's the Global Leadership and Trust Summit. That's going to be in Dubai, UAE, from September 14th to 18th. We have the Agile and Cyberfit Sports Day for those who attended last year. I'm sure you had a great time. If you missed it, make sure you don't miss it this time round. And then one of the other notable events is the International Men's Day 2026, November 19th. So take a screenshot of this particular slide. Just make sure you mark them on your calendars. But most importantly, you can also find these events on the Glue app. So if you go to app.glueup, you'll be able to find all these particular under ISACA, you'll be able to find all these particular events. Register for each of these, please. Next slide. Right. What organization who would we be if we don't do any particular form of CSR? Again, this is very good for, of course, us giving back to the community. And this is during our community day. This is scheduled for October 3rd. For this particular one, it's very important that you join in. You'll also earn some CPE hours for doing this. So not only will you touch a child, but you'll also earn some professional hours to your hours once you join this. Next slide. Sorry, I've missed out something. I've seen something on scholarships. So there's international and local academic scholarships. I believe you have seen the membership committee communicating severally on those students who have won academic scholarships. I believe the team will be able to walk us through how to register for this. But as part, again, of our community or CSR activities, we do offer local and academic international local academic scholarships. So again, feel free to share this information with your colleagues, your family, or friends. Next slide. Right, I think we've been talking about this as we go along. Boniface mentioned this. One of the key ways to become a member and what you benefit, of course, is building your local network. No man is an isol, so it's not possible for you. It's not possible for you to rise the rank or to become the practitioner that you are, the thought leader that you are, without a network. So build your local network. That's very key. And we've talked about access to global network of professionals. So how we've talked about how the world has become a global village. So it's very possible to access all these global leaders. Think about South Africa, think about Canada, think about the US, where just think about how many people you're able to access, and the same challenges they have experienced, they may have possibly been able to address those particular challenges in a better way, in a more sophisticated way, and you can be able to bring that sophistication back here because of the global network of professionals that you have access to. Mentorship, very important. You're also able to get your mentorships. It's important, your mentors through this. You can either be a mentor or a mentee. Once you become a member of ISACA. Then, of course, accelerate your professional development. If you do a lot of proposals, you will find that there's a requirement there that is always indicating that they're looking for professionals with a certain certification or credential. They have to be a CISA, they have to be a CISM, they have to have a C-risk, or even if you're applying for a new job, these certifications will give you that edge. Sharpen your leadership abilities, soft skills, and subject matter expertise, and credentials at a lower cost. Of course, we've talked about how the benefit against those who are not members. There's a lot of discounts that you get as a member. And then, of course, access free learning, acquire the tools you need, whatever tools you require, whether it's in engaging frequently with the AI, it's very important that you get these particular tools. Rather you engage with a platform to be able to get this material. And of course, focus on building diverse tech community and a better digital world. Next slide. So very important deadlines that you need to keep. The membership renewals are due 15th of February. After that, your account all your certifications will be revoked, and you'll have to go through a whole process of requesting or appealing for that revocation to be removed. Then we have $10 off student membership that ends at 31st of Jan. So remember, student members pay $23. So with 10 off, that means there's a discounted. So run now so that you're able to enjoy that particular reward. Then we have ISACA Student Summit 2026. This one, the registration closes on the 30th of January. To be able to enjoy the 10% off for student membership, make sure you use the TU Summit 26 to be able to enjoy that particular 10%. There's also yes, that's pretty much it. There's last chance to attend. It's 30th January. Make sure you do that so that you don't miss out on the opportunities and the insights that as a student you'll be able to gain from that. Quickly, next slide. Right, so before I get into filling your ISACA Continuing Professional Education CPEs demo, I would like my colleague Faith to just walk us through first, how do you register to become a member in the Engage community? How do you renew your membership? And then I'll quickly walk you through how to file for your continuing professional education. So Faith, allow me to give the baton to you.
Thank you so much, Caro, and thank you for such a comprehensive presentation. So I would like to take this opportunity to go through the Engage platform. So I think one of the things that I've noticed, and maybe from having conversations with various peers in ISACA, is a question on how to be able to contribute more to the ISACA locally and globally. And ISACA Engage portal is one of the areas whereby you can be able to be a contributor on the global platform. So it's an online community and resource platform for members that is designed to facilitate networking, professional development, and knowledge sharing. It acts as a one-stop destination to be able to connect with peers, volunteer, and as well as be able to access specialized industry content. So the Engage portal has various components or features. We have the online communities or the discussion forums. We have the networking opportunities, volunteer opportunities. We have a lot of resources there. We have examinations, preparation forums. We have special interest groups such as the Shillits Tech, Rising Professionals. When you become a contributor or volunteer, you can be able to earn digital badges. There's also some mentorship program also. So I'm going to share my screen and demonstrate. Maybe someone can confirm if my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Thanks, Kevin. So the Engage platform, how do you access it? So once you've been able to log into your ISACA portal, there's my ISACA tab. You can go to Engage. So one thing you realize is that it is going to ask you to log in again. So use the same credentials that you have for your ISACA portal to be able to log in. Since I'm already logged on, so it just goes directly. So if you're very new to Engage, you can use the how to participate. You can click on how to participate. There's a very clear guideline on what you need to do, especially it's very good to be able to complete your your profile. Like I'm going to show you in a few, because other members globally can be able to see your profile and be able to see your education, your history, and your expertise. So there's a guide here on how to be able to use the Engage platform. There's a member directory. So if you want to connect with your peers, or you want to connect with other professionals that maybe you've met on LinkedIn, and you also want to connect with them here on Engage, you can be able to search them. So for instance, if I can search Tuei, let me see whether we are connected. Yeah, you can be able to search Tuei, go to his profile. Tuei, I think you need to do more on your profile and update more details. I know you have more that you can put here. Yeah, so you can be able to to connect to share your profile here. Mushai mentioned about the various events that she has prepared under her directorate. And when you come to the chapter website, also the Kenya chapter website, you can be able to see. You can also, it will also ask you to log in if you want to have more engagements there. But you can be able to see all the chapter events that have been planned for the year, because the education committee has already uploaded that here. And you can also be able to see the latest updates that have been shared in the ISACA Kenya portal as well. Something else, so on the Connect, there's something called the expert directory, also very important. So you can be able to complete your expert profile. By completing your expert profile, you can be considered as an expert in various topics. You can be able to, when people search experts on the Engage portal, you can be able to be part of the experts listed, and then you, at the same time, you can share your interest as an expert, maybe to speak at conferences, to be able to do publications, and many more. So completing an expert profile on the ISACA Engage platform also puts you on a limelight, to be able to be approached as an expert, so either within the country or globally as well. Digital badges. So the more you contribute on Engage, you're able to earn badges. There are different badges for different contributions, and there's an explanation on how to participate and be able to collect these badges as well. There's partner resources on Engage as well, and these are partners that ISACA has been able to work with over time, and gather different resources on different topics. There's IT audit, IC governance, security resources. These are very rich and very highly resourceful resources that you can be able to tap in that knowledge as well. So the other thing is the communities. So on ISACA Engage, you can be able to join various communities. You can see here, like myself, I've on 8 communities as well. And here you can be able to contribute to various discussions. At the same time, you can be able to volunteer as well as an engaged topic leader, and be able to be a moderator of the various discussions that are happening within each community. At the same time, be able to interact and engage with the leaders who, other members who are there. How do you join? You can view the communities that are there, and then you can be able to join the communities, 16 in total. There are 16 in total right now. They keep adding different communities as time goes on, and you can see, like, if, for instance, if you're preparing for your exam, you'll find different discussions happening here. They share questions of the day. A question of the day, they share tips as well. People who have passed the exam also share tips on different communities that are related to exams. But we have other communities that are there, like the Emerging Technology, She Leads Tech, Rising Professionals. There's so many of them. So it's a good way to be able to contribute to ISACA. So before I come to volunteer, I can maybe mention a bit on events. So Engage, all ISACA chapters, they post their events, the upcoming events here, and you can be able to view other events that are happening in other chapters. So if you want to listen in maybe to webinars or even attend physical events that are happening in other chapters, you can be able to come here and check them out at the events and be able to see what events interest you, and you can be able to attend either virtually or physically. Another thing is volunteering. So I keep also getting questions from some of the members asking, how can I be able to increase my CP hours? It's the end of my cycle. I've not done so much. I didn't attend a conference. I've tried to do all the webinars available. I'm having a crunch here. And one way of earning CP hours in ISACA is becoming a volunteer on the Engage platform. And there's so many volunteering opportunities that are shared all around the year. And some of these opportunities, they give you quite some good CP hours. For instance, if you sign up to be in this working group, 2026 Emerging Tech Trades working group, you can be able to see you will get almost, I think, 20, if I'm not wrong, 20 CP hours. And this is an annual working group. You'll be volunteering, and you can see there are like 30 slots open. Yeah, so they will just need a few hours of your time within you see, like they need like 1 or 4 hours a month, depending on time commitment. So there are so many opportunities that are usually posted here through the year. We have like the ones I've seen, like I think it's the one for social media. They take quite a number of, let me check. I think it's already, social media. I've also applied for it, and they take around how many? 300 slots, and you'll be able to get, I think, don't know whether it's updated, but I think last time I did this, I got around 6 CP hours for the period that you'll be volunteering. So there are so many they keep putting so many of these opportunities to volunteer globally, and it also helps you to be able to network with other working committees, members of the committee across the globe, so you can be able to improve your networks within the ISACA membership. One more thing I wanted to mention is the ISACA Awards. There are awards that happen, and I'm sure we could be aware of it. And it's good to be able to participate. As members, you can be able to nominate maybe your chapter leaders. There are various outstanding awards that are here. So it's good you be able to check what you can be able to nominate yourself, or nominate an outstanding chapter leader as well, or even nominate your chapter if there I mean, you can be able to also nominate your chapter as well and be recognized globally. I think they just concluded the last one, and they announced it last week. The other year, we had Mercy Omolo being nominated as the Outstanding Chapter Leader Award globally. So that's another thing that is very crucial. I wanted to also mention about the scholarship before I go to membership. Karen mentioned about the scholarships. So scholarships is one of the ways that ISACA is able to do give back to the community. And this program has been running, I think now for four years. It started as one in tech, and now it's just simply called ISACA Foundation. I'm trying to get it. ISACA, just a minute. Yeah. So ISACA Foundation has been running now for, I think, 4 years, and ISACA Kenya chapter has always been at the middle of it, being able to ensure our Kenyan students are benefiting from this program. This ISACA Foundation has had some very good traction for the past 4 years, and you can see how much money has been how much funding has been gotten and be awarded since they started. And you can be able to see the various programs. We have the ISACA Scholarship Program, the Digital Trust Workforce Development Program, and yeah, so when you come to the ISACA Foundation page, you can be able to see various scholarships that are open. And I think they also announce them on social media, LinkedIn. So it's good to be able to be on the lookout on what scholarships that you can apply, or which ones that that you can speak to different students to be able to apply as well. I wanted to show you something. This is a video that was done for She Leads, I think, at some point. And I think ISACA Kenya participated. Yeah. So anyway, sorry. So I wanted to show you the I don't know, I'm not able to get it. Partnership. Yeah, so you can see Kenya chapter has been very much. I wanted to show you the various scholarship recipients that have received the scholarships, but I don't know why I'm not able to get that page now. But anyway, you can interact with it much later. So membership. So I realized I am not able to, Kevin, to show how to go through the membership payment, because I've already done because my payment has already been paid for. So I don't know whether we can have a member who has not paid, and we can demonstrate how to generate the invoice, or how they can be able to pay later. I'm sorry.
Maybe along the way, if there is anyone, they can raise their hand and we can be able to do that. We can, especially if there's a member who is here,
Let me finish.
And they have like they're on their laptop, we'd be happy to bring on stage. Then you can be able to demonstrate the whole process, where you get to the point where you can generate your invoice, or maybe make your payment using a Visa or any kind of debit card. Yeah, so as if that is also coming through, I think this can also be a very good opportunity to tackle some of the questions that have already come through. So I'll be also throwing it to any of our members of the leadership, as well as also Faith. We have a couple of people as well as our secretariat. So just I'll start with the very first one because okay, I can see also a couple of them are also being answered by Lois on chat. So in case there's anything that you want to add, then we'll definitely add on to these. But I'll try to take it from the very start and put in a couple of questions that were shared. So Moses asked about what happens if one had not renewed in the previous year, and there are accruals. Are there any accruals? And I think, Lois, you also answered that. I'll give you an opportunity to maybe put it into verbally, so that also those who are going to be watching the session recording will get the answers to these. Also, there was a question on maybe, I think same again from one of us, is I would like to know about waivers for work and education experience for members looking to be certified. I think we can get that. We can start with the first one to Lois, and the second one can go to Caroline, and then we can go on. Regarding presentation slides, the session is being recorded. It is also live on our YouTube channel. We'll definitely share all that, as well as any resources and links that we share through the email. So we can start with you, Lois. Lois, you can put into context a couple of the questions that you've been answering in chat.
Try to respond. Normally, when you do this CISA certification, you're given 5 years. And then the 3-year waiver. And actually it depends, because sometimes we get those who have been practicing for so many years with a degree. Those are people, and I think Carol can also confirm this, that you would be like, maybe you have the experience for like 5, 6, 10 years. You have the degrees. So once you pass the examination, you can apply for certification immediately. But once you get this certification, you're supposed to be like submitting. Immediately you get your certification, you should be submitting your CPE points. And things that we sometimes forget is that most of the people with certifications, we forget that when we are told of the 3-year cycle, the 3-year cycle means that you're given 3 years to submit 120 CPE hours. So we understand that sometimes we have years that are not really that fruitful, and the minimum you can do is 20 CPE hours. And you cannot always do a minimum of 20 CPE hours for 3 years, because at the end of 3 years cycle, you should be having 120 CPE hours. So if your first year is not fruitful enough, you do 20. If the second year is not fruitful enough and you do another 20, it means that you have to cover for the difference during the 3rd year. I don't know whether Carol has got anything to add on to that, but it also, I understand there are people that sometimes you have like 2, 3, 4 certifications, and you can't ride on, you only need 120 CPE points. So the more certifications you have, the more CPE hours you have to get. And actually, there are things that we forget. Sometimes you have a CISA and you want to go to maybe a governance training, which maybe does not really support CISA. Maybe you have a governance certification and then you attend a training that does not really support your certification. I know with the ISACA Global, they might maybe reduce the CPE points based on the training that you attended and the topics or something like that. But it's advisable for you to submit all the trainings, all the certificates, and let them be the judge. I think I'll let Carol add on to that, because I know that is something that I've had people asking oftenly, because I attended. It's like you being an auditor and then you go do like some forensics somewhere. It does not really add value to your audit, but attends a forensic, it adds value to the forensic. So I think we should be keen on what events we are attending, and then be keen on reporting all the CPE points, regardless of which trainings we attend. And then I think we let ISACA be the judge. Reports as many as, even if it's 200, let them be the judge. But I think the point is maintaining the CPE points. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, just Lois, just to reiterate on what you've said, indeed, let ISACA be the judge. So it's possible that you have attended a conference that was purely on maybe AI, or it was on governance, it's a GRC conference, and yet you may have a certificate that is not related to GRC, for example. Feel free to record those hours that you accumulated from that conference into that particular certification, and let them be the judge for sure. I was going to talk about the CPEs, recording CPEs, but Kevin, before I go there, you had mentioned there's a question you wanted me to respond to, or Lois has already responded to that.
I think Lois has already responded sufficiently. Maybe you can go to the CPE one. Yeah, sure.
Correct. Thank you very much. So thank you very much, Lois. I can see you've been very engaging on the chat box. You've really responded very exhaustively to the members. Members, if you have any further questions, feel free. If you feel like your question has not been answered, feel free to put it on the chat box. So just to share with you how to record your CPEs. Yes, so now I think we've gone through renewing your ISACA membership. That's something that I think if one of you is able to, to just allow us to use your account to help with the renewal of the ISACA membership, and then registering and getting involved with the ISACA Engage community, that has already been addressed. So the next one is filing your ISACA continuing professional education. So I'll be sharing my screen with you. If Emmanuel, you can stop sharing, okay. Right. All right, so let me know whether you're able to access, or rather to see my screen. It's visible,
Yes,
yeah?
it's visible, yes.
So I've already logged in. Faith walked us through how to log in onto the isaka.org and engage and get onto the Engage platform. So for this one, while you are on the page isaka.org, go to my Isaka, and then go down to CPE certificates. And once you're there, you'll be able to see whether or not you have any CPEs that are still pending filing or not. So it's possible for you to file your CPE records, either self-reporting or those ones that have already been uploaded onto the platform by ISACA themselves. So any conferences you've attended, any webinars you've attended, as long as they can prove that you attended the whole session. For example, this particular one, you will find that there's a CPE hour that has already been preloaded by ISACA to enable you to just accept that particular CPE. So, and if you do want to access any of your CPE certificates, you'll be able to see the certificates under the CPE certificates tab. Once you go onto my ISACA certificates, under the CPE tab, you'll be able to see the certificates that you have so far collected as a result of your participation in the ISACA events. So Faith has talked about you being a volunteer. She's talked about this, the events that we have on our calendar. All these events are rewarded, and how they're rewarded is through certifications, or it's through CPEs, the continued professional education. So Lois had also mentioned that to be able to maintain your certification at a minimum, that this is a mandatory requirement, you need to fill 20. So if we can go back to the certifications and CPE management, you need to file 20 every year for a 3-year cycle. So right now we are in the 2025 to 2027 reporting cycle, 3-year cycle. You see, I have not reported any hours for 2026, either for my CSA or even any hours for my CSIM. However, I have earned a total of 119 hours, which of course almost meets the requirements for the 3-year cycle of 120. But that doesn't mean that just because I have 120, then the rest, the earned hours above the 20 hours for the year 2025 are forwarded to the next year, 2026 and 2027. At a minimum, every year, you have to accumulate 20 hours, whether or not you have superseded the required hours for that particular year or not. So as Lois had mentioned earlier, 20 hours is the minimum. So that means it's the mandatory. And this basically means that this is like a license to maintain your certificate, the 20 hours. Without the 20 hours, if I don't file my 20 hours in this year, 2026, and in 2027, my certificate may be revoked. It means I am not compliant. It means I'm not compliant. And then if I don't also meet the 120 at the end of the 3-year cycle, I am not compliant, and it's possible that my certificate may be revoked. So I've had cases of many people coming back saying, how do I do this? How am I able to get my certificates reinstated? Some have 3 certificates. Even that one certificate, it's very important to ensure that you maintain it so that you don't have it revoked, because the process of having it reinstated is another whole process. But I know ISACA have also tried as much as possible to improve that process. But even so that you avoid getting through that, it's very important that you just maintain your hours, and you've seen what is out there for you to help you maintain these hours. Engage with the Engage platform, and you'll be able to meet these hours. Check the ISACA calendar of events, ISACA Kenya calendar of events, and you'll be able to see all these events that we have put in place for you to be able to maintain these particular hours. So as I'd mentioned, it's either you do it, it's a pre-loaded CPE hour, or it's self-reporting. So when you go to report and manage CPE, for example, for the CISA certification, remember, as Lois had mentioned, you may do a forensics training or a workshop in forensics, but you don't really have a certificate that is related to forensics, but it may still apply because there's some audit element to it. If you have a CISA, the forensics workshop may still apply, and you can be able to prove why it applies to your CISA certification and why it was necessary for you to take the forensics investigation course or workshop. Or any other, for example, you're a CJATE, but you've done a course that is, may not necessarily be reflective, but you will see that in most of these certifications, there's some level of intersection. So whatever it is that you're learning from any of these workshops, from any of these webinars, are sort of related and will be relevant to any of the certificates that you have. So I have a couple of unapplied CPE hours. So these ones are the preloaded by ISACA. So all I need to do is click on apply. And I'll be able to see where they were, where the source of this particular CPE hours. And then once I click on the apply, I'll be able to then assign the number of hours per certificate. So for this particular one, I've earned 20 hours. So this is the maximum allowed. It is possible to put in the 20 hours here and the 20 hours in the next certificate. So if you have 3 or 4 certifications, put in the number of hours, and then you save and close, and that particular certificate, the CPEs will be applied. I see I only have one chapter leader certifications. Again, this one does not apply because it's for a previous cycle. So I cannot apply this at all. I can do the same thing. See, for CISM, again, it's allowing me to apply this particular sorry, I have this basically just shows us that we have applied the 20 hours to both certifications. I have not yet received any audit or contention from the ISACA Global, because they do have an audit team that go back, especially for those where we have done a self-reporting they can come in and audit you and ask you, where did you get these 40 CPEs that you claim to have reported, that you have gained? So maybe you've done a training, you are a trainer. Remember also those are applicable for recording as CPEs. So sorry, I wanted to go directly on to, and remember there's a video here that you can also watch in case you want to go this slowly. I know we are rushing, we are out of time. But in case you want to do this again by yourself, feel free to watch this video. It will show you how to go ahead and do it. I think I've seen questions around the CISA Associate Renewal. It requires maintaining active membership at any level. There's no additional renewal fee. However, the CISA Associate can only be active for 4 years from the date of passing the exam. You cannot be a CISA Associate for more than 4 years. After that, you're required to then become a CISA, and then you maintain the CPE hours. And then, of course, there are some requirements there for AAIA and AAISM certifications, and of course, the rest of the certifications that we have. So you click on, when you want to self-report your CPEs, you go and click on Add New CPE Record. And it's in this particular page that you fill in the details. You record every detail. So for example, you can say I conducted, or I did and attended the 2025 annual conference, or I conducted a training in this particular subject. Maybe it was on business continuity, it was on information security management, it was on privacy management, whatever it is. Who is the sponsoring organization? Was it ISACA? Was it your organization? Was it another organization? Maybe you're a trainer. And then the start date, when did you start it? This helps you to calculate the hours. So maybe it was from January 1st to January, maybe it was a conference for a week or a workshop for a week. So you put the start date, end date, and then the qualifying activities. So they have put a number of qualifying activities that you can select from. So it's either an AI-related professional education activities, it's an exam question development and review, it's a non-ISACA professional education activity, especially if you're training a group of people who, or you're engaging a group of people that are not necessarily related to ISACA. So you can select that particular one. And then now, what was the method of delivery? Was it virtual? Was it in person? That is what you put in under this. And then now you put in the number of hours. Remember, to be able to calculate the CPE hours relevant to that particular activity that you have just recorded has to meet the ISACA CPE policy requirements. And it's very clear, if you're attending an event for 1 hour, maybe that, or if you are trained for 1 hour, that is equivalent to maybe 0.5 to 1 hour to 1 CPE. There's a whole CPE training policy that you'll be able to access again from this. And in the interest of time, we'll not be able to go through that. But basically, that is it. Again, in a nutshell, remember that to be able to do this, you have to go to my ISACA. My ISACA, navigate to CPE, add CPE records. They can either be self-recorded or preloaded or by the ISACA team, which is very easy. Upload each of those hours that you have accumulated in the year against each of those certificates that you have. If there's any contention, ISACA will be able to reach you and for further clarification or any further evidence. So for those who have been audited, will tell you that they had to present to ISACA evidence showing that they indeed accumulated those many hours, and this is how they were able to calculate those particular hours. If your certificate is also revoked, you have to provide evidence and reasons why your certificate was revoked. If you have not even renewed your membership as well, if it's your membership is also revoked, you have to provide reasonable doubt, or rather a good reason why your application was your membership was revoked. The downside of having your membership revoked because of lack of payment is because when you do pay, chances are you will need to start the whole year, the cycle again. So if you had done 7 years within ISACA and you've gotten the badges of gold member, silver member, you'll have to start again. And there are also benefits to becoming, there are some rewards that you have for serving continuously within the chapter. So it's very important that you ensure you maintain this, access your invoices in time if your organization is paying. If you need support in terms of convincing your organization to pay for you. I know right now that because of austerity measures here and there, the organizations are not able to pay. But if you do need any support, do let us know. Kevin, I think that is it for my side. Unless there's any other questions specifically to managing CPEs, I'll be happy to respond.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that. We can give Caroline her flowers by reacting in the chat. As we also do that, there's a question for you, Caroline, from Josephat. He's asking, when I checked my CPE hours on my ISACA profile, I noted that I did not get about 10 CPEs from last year's events which I participated in. How can I get them to have them recorded? Ideally, I think it might be talking about maybe chapter events, something. Maybe you can tackle that.
Yeah, so Josephat, I think we may need to look at that because there's also some there are some requirements that you need to meet. You're saying 10 of those CPE hours were not recorded. It could be that you attended a webinar. Maybe you can qualify your statement because it's either you attended a webinar, and you may not have gone all the way to the end because there's also a structure that ISACA has, and the secretariat follows thoroughly, is when you do join a webinar, and you need to at least be there for a predefined amount of time before logging out for you to be for the 1 hour, for the 1 CPE to be eligible, and so many other activities that need to happen. It's also possible that you didn't put in your, what is it called? Your name and your ISACA ID. So you may have put your name, but not your ISACA ID. And the correct ISACA ID. Maybe check and confirm that you put in the correct identifier, so that, because that's what will be linked to the number of CPEs that you get. So, and this is to everyone, just make sure even as you attend a particular, when you do the registration, put in the correct name, your name as you applied or as you registered as a member on the ISACA portal, and the ID. Because if you don't have the right ID, then you're not going to have the hours loaded on the platform. I see someone says, I attended sports day and men's events last year, but did not get any CPEs. Any update on that? For the CPEs on sports day, have they been preloaded already? Just to confirm, Lois?
Not yet. We'll be doing that. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of challenge with our what do you call it, our glue up, but we'll be sending the CPE points. Sorry about that. I think before end of this January, we'll be sending you the certificates.
All right, great, Andrew. So you got your answer there.
Actually, it's not only sports day. I think people should be asking also for the SheLead check.
Okay.
Those were the 2 events that were affected, and we'll be sending. But I believe, regardless of the certificates, anyone who attended should be able to report the CPE points
Correct.
It only becomes crucial if you are to be audited and you need to give proof of attendance. But if you know you attended, kindly submit your CPE points. So by the time we do submit this to HQ, they'll be like verifying. If anyone attended She Leads and Sports Day, kindly submit your CPE. No, submit your hours. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lois. There's a couple of questions for you, Caroline, about CPE. For example, Kevin Opio is asking in the Q&A that are lecturers, maybe in institutions of higher learning, teaching information systems audit and control kind of units, can they earn CPEs for that?
Yes, remember I mentioned that training is one of the activities that are allowable on the platform. However, you need to really prove the topics are relevant to ISACA. You need to provide as much evidence as possible. Accountability is very important so that you avoid any form of audit or scrutiny from ISACA Global. Just make sure that you put in the necessary information. There's a selection. You can select a particular activity, and that I think there's one specifically there. You can either select the qualifying activity can be teaching, lecturing, or presenting. Actually, it is there. I was going to say non-ISACA professional activity, but there's a teaching, lecturing, and presenting as a qualifying activity for filing your hours. Yeah.
Thanks so much for that. Anonymous attendee, which also makes it very interesting because I don't know whether they'll be able to report. It says, what if you missed your ISACA ID while registering for the webinar? What happens?
So that one will not be preloaded as a CPE, and it might also be very hard to prove that you attended. Yeah. It might be a bit of a challenge to prove that for you to be able to self-report. It may be impossible to prove. It may be, I don't know how you'll be able to prove that you actually attended the particular webinar and that the entire you attended the whole webinar from start to finish. So that's why it's very important to put in your ISACA ID.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Kelvin Sang is asking, did I just miss it? Can I add the master's, my MBA to CPE? I think you've answered that in a way. Maybe you've told us that it has to be relevant, you have to prove.
Yes,
And
correct.
yeah, that kind of thing. I think you've clarified on that. Maybe we can at this juncture maybe give one member. I can see Rebecca Obonyo, who has raised her hand, an opportunity to ask a question live. Rebecca, over to you. Rebecca, can you hear us? Can unmute and can give you that opportunity, unless maybe there's a mistake with the hand. But also, as you get to join your audio, I think we're almost wrapping up on this. Thanks so much for being patient with us. A good number of questions have been answered. So there's a question from Moses Ndeda. I don't know whether you caught this, or it was answered by Lois on the chat. So if I have 20 hours and I have CISA and CISM, I give each 20 hours, or do I give 10 each, presuming 20 hours apply to both certifications?
20 hours apply to both certifications, so 20 to each certification.
Yeah. So if you've earned 20 CP, you can apply 20 each, you're not like distributing those hours.
Correct.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think some people aren't getting answered their questions. And then let me check one more if there's something on the Q&A.
I see as an anonymous attendee saying that they went through reinstatement. It was not interesting. If you can avoid it, never let your certification or membership lapse. Thank you very much, anonymous attendee. It's a gruesome experience, and they may try to improve it, but yeah, they're gathering that evidence, sending letters, having people sign off to validate. It's a whole process, and I've had to help quite a number of people But it's important that I agree, a word of caution, just try and avoid it. Yeah. Oof, today we've gone overboard.
Really over time. Yeah, there was one person who was asking about whether the people are getting global recognition for engaging and doing a couple of things. And I think most recently in the latest Global Achievement Awards, we had our very own immediate past president, Masio Molo, was recognized, and I also put that in the chat for anyone who'd like to check that out. I think it will also be awesome. So congratulations to Masi for that. I think we can be wrapping up. Rebecca, in case you haven't you've gotten an opportunity. If not, it's okay. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the reinstatement caution. And at this juncture, unless there is any kind of wrap up, Faith or Caroline can give you some 30 seconds or so for you to do some wrap up kind of remarks, then we can get to the closing. You can start with you, Faith. Faith Aware. Okay.
I'm sorry, I
Caroline?
was on
Oh,
another
okay.
call. I didn't.
Okay.
Sorry. Hello.
Yeah. So I was saying, do you have any parting shot?
Not quite, but maybe what I would say is to encourage members to be able to be active and engage, and also to try as much as possible to be able to volunteer. And it's a very good way to be able to have CP hours coming in. Myself, I think from Engage, I'm able to get around 40 CP hours per year. So I would encourage everyone to be able to use the Engage platform to be able to have additional CP hours as well. And also volunteer at ISACA, volunteer to be a member of the committee, and any other opportunities that are usually posted every year after the elections. Thank you, and I'm glad to see so many members attending today and being part of this webinar as we begin the year, and wishing everyone a good year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Caroline, what do you?
Yes, maybe just to add to that, again, members, just remember that we have deadlines that you need to adhere to. Make sure that by 15th you have renewed your membership. Remember to also report your CPE hours before the end of the year is over. Remember the 20 CPE hours for each year and 120 at the end of the 3-year cycle. Also, interact as much as you can with the Secretariat, interact as much as possible with the website, get access to the ISACA Kenya chapter calendar of events, see what interests you, engage your communities, engage your organization as soon as possible so that they can be able to sponsor you for these particular conferences or any other event. There's a lot to learn. And the beauty about being in this space is that you never stop learning and you always learn something new every day. And to be able to maintain, to be able to keep being relevant, just make sure that you sign up for these particular workshops, these particular events. We have one training coming up. There's a webinar coming up next week. Please register for that. It's on virtual assets. For those who are dealing with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, whatever, just make sure that you tune in. It's a free webinar. Just register and make sure that you join in. And because of issues of people who don't get the CPEs, make sure you put in your correct ISACA ID and name. Thank you very much, Kevin. Wishing everyone a very good night. Apologies for the time, but I am sure, but for them to stay until this time, it means that it's very relevant information that they're getting. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good night.
Yes, and with that, yes, do have a good night. And if you're asking for the recording, yes, as much as it's going to be shared on your email, it's already live on our ISACA Kenya TV, which is our YouTube channel. I've already shared the links, so make sure you subscribe also to the channel. All our webinar sessions are going to also be available live and direct from our YouTube channel, just in case you might miss the session itself, or might need to get the recording as soon as it's end. I think with that, unless there is anything from Lies or the team before we wrap it up.
Me, it's just to inform members if anyone has paid through the local chapter, because we normally get payments through the local chapter, and we only see the payment in the bank. And at times, bank has got very little information. So if you've paid directly through our local chapter, please share that your invoice and the payment advice so that we can link it to you, and then we do the advice to HQ. Remember, the deadline is near. Let's not wait until 15th of February for us to start rushing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Kevin.
Thank you. Yes, can you hear me? Awesome.
Hello?
Serene, we can hear you.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you, Kevin. I just want to appreciate each and everyone who took their time and stayed with us. Patience is a virtue, yes, but we really, really are grateful for you sacrificing all that time to listen to us. And we believe that this is important information. Kindly help us grow the numbers by passing on this information to your friends, colleagues, and families, because without you, this chapter cannot grow. So we are counting on you, and market us out there. Let us be visible, and please participate. Hold your leaders accountable because you put them in the office. Ask us, what have we done for you? And make us account to you. Let us respond to you. Let us assist you, because basically we are here to serve. So again, my name is Irene. I'm your current Membership and Communications Director, and I am very passionate about seeing you getting what you deserve. Thank you so much, and have a lovely year ahead. Good night, everyone.